In Season 1 with our Southampton side, we managed to return back to the Premier League at the first time, kind of somewhat a bit ridiculously because we weren't good enough to get promoted, but we did actually manage to get promoted via the playoffs. It means we are back in the Premier League, and as you can see here from the current vision, the current season objective is avoid relegation from the Premier League. I will tell you now, that's not going to be easy to do, might be impossible. And because of that, I have a sneaking suspicion that we might get fired this season. I know that's not really a thing that you want to try and do at the start of a season, to just basically say, probably won't be here at the end of it, but I think that might be the case unless we can do something absolutely ridiculous, and that is actually do quite well in the Premier League. I think I'm actually looking at the records here, trying to work out what ones I don't want to be featured on. So I would like to get more than one league win. That would be quite nice. I would like to, realistic, most league defeats. I don't want to have that one. I feel like losing 31 is not going to be good. I think we should be okay with that. The biggest win, I don't want to be on that one either. Realistically, that's not a good... Well, I mean, unless it is us winning, obviously, that would be amazing. And there's also the fewest points in a season, which is Stoke, which, I mean, technically they're from 1889 and 1890. Obviously, the Derby County is the Premier League one. I don't want to be either... I want, 25 points. Okay, let's be honest. I don't want to get relegated, but I think it's going to happen. So to help us not get relegated, we've got £36.5 million currently in our transfer budget. I don't know whether that's going to be enough. I feel like it won't be enough. I'm being such like a downer here, but I feel like we are going to struggle unless we can do something pretty magical, because there are some kind of silver linings that we do have. When we look at our squad, we have Aaron Ramsdale. He has returned from his loan at Newcastle, which I'm sure is supposed to turn into a permanent transfer for £25 million. It hasn't happened. Also, Elias Yellert, who was on loan from someone in Germany, he's returned back to his feeder club. Or was it Galatasaray? And it doesn't matter. He's gone back to his feeder club when there's a permanent transfer sorted out for that as well. We've got Bella Kotchap back. We've got Kaya Sander back. We've got a whole load of players returning. So Sugawara's another one. We've got... Who else have we got? Juan Larios. We've got Moses Sesse. Who else? Will Smallbone. We've got a big squad. Ben Brereton Diaz. I mean, they're not necessarily good players returning, but we've got some players coming back. There is a bit of a problem with some of these players returning, however. Aaron Ramsdale was on £120,000 a week. I don't want to sell him because he is clearly our best goalkeeper by a fair distance, but £120,000 off our wage budget, and if we can get like £70 million for him, that might be pretty good. I've also just seen Damien Downs is on £50,000 a week. He definitely needs to leave because he's absolutely garbage. Obviously, before we have kicked off the season, we have got a few players who are considered stars. Ramsdale is obviously one of them. Bella Kotchap is our second best player. That surprises me. That genuinely surprises me that Bella Kotchap is our second best player. We've got Shea Charles there as well. We've also got Jardim, which means maybe we can get rid of Ramsdale because Jardim is still good enough. And we've also got Sugawara, who's obviously returned as well from a loan spell. Amusingly, in sixth place is Bailey Cadamarteri. I don't think he's that good, but if he's our sixth best player, that's a worry. Anyway, we're now going to jump forward to the end of the first transfer window to see what transfer business we can do and whether we can build a squad good enough to keep Southampton in the Premier League. But £32 million is not going to go very fast, so there will definitely be players leaving the club as well as joining. Starting with the outs then, the transfer window has literally just closed and we have managed to get rid of three quite big, expensive wages at the very least, big players as well. So Damien Downs is the first one. He has moved over to, where is he gone? He's not Southampton. He's definitely not at Southampton anymore. He has gone to Al Kholoud for £3.3 million. It's technically 4.3 with some sell-ons. So we've made a loss, honestly, but he's rubbish, so I'm okay with that. Moving to Al Najma in Saudi Arabia is Ben Brereton Diaz. He has moved over for £7.75 million. And it actually tells you, I'll show you in a minute, but it tells you we made a £1 million profit on him. Whether that's relevant or not, but yeah, we've sold him. That's another, I think, £50,000 a week off the wage budget, by the way. And also heading over to Saudi Arabia is Adam Armstrong. He is signed for Al Khalij for £8 million. Again, another £50,000 off the wage budget. 5 players have joined the club, and I don't think we have strengthened enough, but I'm hoping we have. First of all is Jimmy J. Morgan, who is a former Southampton player who moved to Chelsea, and then he has come back after his contract expired. So, I mean, he's one for the future, obviously. He's 20, but he's still pretty good. For £475,000, we have signed Colombian central defender Jason Quinones. He has come from a team in Colombia. It would be nice to see that. Atletico Nacional, they got him on a free transfer after he's done a weird tour of Japan, back to Colombia, over to England in the space of what, 12 months, maybe 18 months? Quinones, by the way, is obviously a player that I've looked at and gone, I think he's going to be able to strengthen our defence. That's the idea. Whether he will do or not is a different question. We have also brought in Mamadou Diambu. He has come in from... Where has he come in from? He's come in from RB Salzburg. He's cost £4.6 million, which is quite steep, but he is a pretty good defensive midfielder. I think we did need to strengthen that slightly. So Diambu has joined the club. Also, he's still only 23, so plenty of years ahead of him if he's going to keep playing and obviously improve. That's the goal anyway. We have also picked up former Newcastle United footballer Joe Willock for just £3 million. I think this is a very sensible bit of business. Yes, he's a central midfielder, which is a position we don't play, but he can play as a defensive attacking midfielder, or a winger, or a defensive midfielder. He's cost, like I said, £3 million for a player that cost £25 million just 5 years ago. That's pretty good, right? And our biggest expense of the summer is Alexander Prass, who has cost a whopping 14 million or 13 million, possibly going a little bit higher, I believe. He has come in from Hoffenheim. I think he's a good left back. He's also very versatile, so if we want, we can play him as a right winger, striker, probably a goalkeeper, although he's only got 2 goalkeeping rating. Alexander, you need to get better at that. And that is all we've done. Yes, it's not good, is it? I don't think we've strengthened the team at all, but we've cut some money off the wages. Maybe we just need to look at this season as a season where we are just trying to fix the squad a bit. We'll get relegated, and then we'll go straight back up again in Season 3. Assuming we can keep our job. We have also loaned out a whole bunch of people as well. So Kasper Yander has gone on loan to Schalke, Matsuki to Birmingham, Larios to Göztepe. We've also got anyone of interest. Teoaka, maybe could be his name. He's gone to Göztepe as well. Calvin Ramsey to Valencians. Romeo Akachukwu to Gillingham. Joe O'Brien Whitmarsh has gone to Chesterfield. Some of these players you might not have heard of, but they're actually quite good youth players, some of them. So it's good for them to go out and get some decent game time somewhere else. We have obviously already started the season. And we have started the season with Aaron Ramsdale as our number 1 goalkeeper. I did try and get £80 million for him. Nobody wanted to buy him for £80 million, so he is still here. Clubs are still interested. It's West Ham on loan. We had a few offers from Saudi Arabia. I think the highest was about £64 million. I obviously did not accept it. We've played 4 times. He's conceded 15. That's how well our season started, by the way. We kicked things off with a 4-1 defeat against Fulham. We then lost 2-1 to Manchester United at home, and then we got absolutely battered by Arsenal 7-0 at the Emirates. We did pick up a point against West Ham, Bailey Cadamarteri with a goal alongside Finn Azaz, and then you can see there we also did get past Reading in the Carabao Cup after penalties. We weren't even good enough to beat Reading in a 90-minute match. Reading, by the way, pretty sure are League One. They are. I mean, I don't need to show you what the league table looks like, do I? But you know where we're going to be. We are rooted to the bottom of the table. We do have 1 point so far, so 1 victory could chuck us all the way up to 15th place. That 1 victory might be very difficult to come by, considering we just lost 7-0 against Arsenal. So this isn't the squad that we are playing. In fact, what we will do, I will just ask them to do a best 11, see who also joins it. So Cadamarteri is actually our best striker. So this is, in theory, our best squad. So Ramsdale, Sugawara, Bella-Kotchap, Kwasi and Prass as our defensive options. Charles, Fellows, Azaz, Robinson and Cadamarteri. I mean, it's not horrendous for a championship level team. It's not very good for a Premier League level team. And the problem is, and I'm fully aware, I kind of have brought this upon myself, we haven't got any money. Although it says we do have £16.5 million. I was trying to buy better players, we didn't have any money, and then, because we've got no wage budget, that's the problem. So we were trying to get players who were costing like £70,000, £80,000 a week. So I was having to move things from my transfer budget into my wage budget, which meant my transfer budget basically just disappeared. It's £16 million is not a lot of money nowadays. I mean, obviously it's for the regular person, but for a football team in the Premier League, it's not a lot of money. And I probably should have sold Ramsdale. I'll be honest, should have sold Ramsdale. I haven't done. He's still here, and he's not going to go in January either. I've committed to it. Right then, next thing to do is to jump to the 1st of January. The first half of the season will be completed, and I'm hoping we're not bottom. I'm hoping the worst case scenario, we've got one win, at least a win. That'll be good, right? It is the 1st of January, however, something absolutely magical happened. Not that, Leeds did take the lead against us, but Bradley Cadamarteri equalised, making it 1-1 from the penalty spot, and then something even more magical happened. We managed to take the lead in a football match in the Premier League. Prass is the man, the fullback runs between the defence, blasts it past the goalkeeper. It is a 2-1 victory against Leeds United in the Premier League. The problem is that's the only one we've had in half a season. 20 games have been played. We have 1 win, 6 draws, 13 defeats, just 17 goals scored, making us the worst team in the league when it comes to goals scored, but also the considerably more worse team when it comes to goals conceded, which is 46, which is on average 2-point-something goals per game we have let in. That's a lot of goals considering we have potentially an England goalkeeper in between the sticks. He's played 19 league games and conceded 42. How was he doing so bad? I mean, obviously the defence in front of him is probably part of the issue here, but he's conceded 42. Jardim's played once in the league and did concede 4 as well, so, you know, it's not like he's much better. It's at this point I need to keep an eye on what the board and the supporters think. I imagine the board probably more so than the supporters. It's a C-. They are disappointed, or slightly disappointed, which is okay. They want us, obviously, to avoid relegation from the Premier League, which is... I mean, no, that's a different season. This season. I mean, how gain automatic promotion to the Premier League? We're in it, so that's not going to happen. We were competitive in the Carabao Cup. We've passed that one. This one is quite clearly, we are struggling with that. What do the supporters think? They're slightly disappointed. That's all. So anyway, obviously it is now a January transfer window. We've got just under £30 million in our budget, but we don't have much wage budget, as I mentioned earlier. So if we are going to buy somebody, we probably have to sell somebody or rejig some of our finances around to try and make the best use of that money. I think we're going to have to buy somebody. I don't know who. I think we might need to buy ourselves a striker, probably a new centre-back as well, maybe a goalkeeper, possibly an entire defence, maybe a few midfielders, a couple of strikers, entire subs bench, possibly fire the entire coaching team. I don't think our budget is going to stretch that far. Probably need to pick and choose our targets here. Oh, I didn't mention it either earlier. I don't think I mentioned it anyway. That we haven't locked in anybody for this season. So it basically, the assistant manager could do whatever he wanted to do, which is obviously playing Ramsdale and conceding 42 apparently. It's now midnight on the 3rd of February. The transfer window has closed, and looking at the league table, we have now played an extra 5 games, and I think we've drawn 3 more. So we've actually done okay. We have obviously lost 2. We haven't won any more games. We are still rooted to the bottom of the Premier League with just 12 points to our name. But we've got to win, and I'm pretty sure we are going to beat Derby's worst Premier League record performance thingy nonsense. I think there is a very slim chance of us not getting relegated. I think what's more likely to happen is we are literally just going to stay bottom of the Premier League until the end of time. If we can get 30 points, I'd say that's a success. And you might be thinking 30 points seems a little bit steep, and you would probably be right, but we have brought in one player who I think is going to change things around for us. First of all, it's Foremost Mendy. We brought in just 2 people, by the way. Foremost Mendy is the first name to join the club. He has come in on a permanent deal for £4 million from Lorient. Basically, he's a reasonable central defender. Played a season on loan in the Championship, played in Ligue 1 and Ligue 2 a few times. In fact, dropped down to the National 2, apparently, for Lorient 2. He's all right. He's not amazing, but he's kind of a bit more of a squad player, I think. Somebody who is going to change the game for us, though, is Samed Bajdar, not quite sure. The Bosnian international, 18 caps, 4 goals to his name. He has joined on a permanent deal for £17.25 million from Real Zaragoza over in the Spanish 2nd Division. Cost £1.3 million a few seasons ago, so it's a massive, massive profit. But as you can see, he's already scored twice and got an assist in just 2 appearances for us. The smart ones of you have obviously worked out that we didn't win those 2 games that he played in, but he scored twice, which is obviously 2 goals that we're kind of struggling with Bailey Cadamartri and Cameron Archer to score, which is a surprise to absolutely no one, I guess, at this point. I've also noticed Joe Willock has literally not played for us. We brought him in for £3 million. He's come off the bench 6 times. Jimmy J. Morgan's played more times and actually scored and got an assist. I imagine that's probably a cup game, though, right? Yeah, in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We also haven't done any players leaving the club. We've got a few loans that have kind of gone on, but nothing really too exciting, I don't think. So we've got Diapepa to Lincoln. We've got Gathercole to Hull. Caillou Sander to Wrexham. I think that's going to be very helpful for him. We've also got Jada Moore and Ayun Kunle and Brandon Charles going on loan as well. So yeah, nothing massively exciting. Yeah, basically, I'm kind of hopeful. And this is why I am hopeful. So, obviously, in January, we did play 5 league games. We drew with Fulham. Things started off all right. We then beat Coventry after extra time in the FA Cup. But Coventry, by the way, are a Premier League side in this. So, that's kind of a big deal, beating Coventry. We then lost to West Ham, lost to Man United, but then a 2-2 draw with Arsenal and a 2-2 draw with Leeds. Bajdar scoring in both Cadamartri and Shea Charles getting the other goals. If you look, Arsenal are second. we've managed to draw with a team who were potentially first at the time, and Leeds, who were potentially 9th or 10th. Looking at that league table, though, it is kind of worrying. We are a very, very long way off the pace, aren't we? If we double our points, we'd be 19th. If we triple our points, we'd be all right, actually. We'd be 8th. Okay, I mean, that's not going to happen anytime soon. One last thing to mention before we jump to the end of the season, and that is the players that we are locking in. We are locking in Jason Quinones and Armela Bella-Kotchap, because if you have a look, Bella-Kotchap, he was playing. He wasn't playing a huge amount, and he's our best central defender in theory. So I've kind of said lock him in. And Quinones, he should be playing more. He's only played 11 as well. I don't want to play Jack Stevens either. Jack Stevens has been horrific for us. He's played 21 times, and he's been absolutely appalling. He's now 33 years old. My assistant manager keeps wanting to pick Jack Stevens, so I'm forcing Bella-Kotchap and Quinones to play in the hope that Jack Stevens doesn't, which is a weird thing to say when he's our club captain. Anyway, let's go forward then to the end of the season. First of all, hopefully we are still in charge. And secondly, we have managed to stay up. And thirdly, if we haven't stayed up, we haven't finished bottom of the table. And if we have finished bottom of the table, hopefully we've got 25 points. Way back in March, or February and March, we managed to string together 3 wins in a row. 3 match wins in a row. This was the second of them up against Coventry. Jay Robinson with the opening goal of the game. Leo Senza with a corner. Finds Charles in the middle. Falls to Azaz. Azaz makes it 2-0. And that's a 2-0 victory against Coventry in the Premier League. That is victory 2 out of 3 in a row. And victory 3 was possibly even more impressive as we head on over to the Amex. Bajdar collects the ball after 24 minutes, long-range effort, pass for Bruggen, making it 1-0. Brighton soon found themselves back on level terms, however, on the 27th minute. Mitoma with the ball, plays it across the goal, finds Yakuba Minter, making it 1-1, and that is when we decided, no, a draw is not enough for us. We want to win some more games. It is Sugawara on that right-hand side, 3 black Southampton shirts in the middle. Bajdar is one of them, and Bajdar gets his second of the game, making it 2-1. And we are not done there as we head on into the second half. Flynn Downs across to Quinones. Where are you going to go, buddy? Long ball over the top towards Tom Fellows. First time volley into the back net. A 3-1 victory away from home. Is this the start of us managing to stay in the Premier League? No, it isn't, because the following 7 games, we then lose against Bournemouth, Ipswich, Liverpool, Everton, Spurs, Chelsea and Brentford even, meaning that we finish rooted to the bottom of the table on 24 points. We almost hit the 25-point mark that I was hoping for, but 24 points. We equalled Everton, who had 82 goals conceded, so actually we weren't horrendous. We weren't even the worst defensive team. That's Coventry with 83. We did score 42, which is not even the worst attacking team. We weren't, all in all, the worst team. We were when you look at the league table. I do want to have a look, actually. So XG, we actually outscored... Did we outscore? No, so our XG is exactly the same. So our XG was 43, we scored 43. Our expected points was 38. We got 14. We were still expected to finish in 19th place. We were 14 points off of the pace there. But you never know, maybe we managed to win a different competition, perhaps. I mean, of course we didn't, because in the Carabao Cup we get knocked out in the 3rd round by Ipswich. In the FA Cup we get knocked out in the 4th round by Manchester City. So, yeah, we've had an absolutely horrendous time. But I guess, because we are still in charge, that's a good thing, right? So, sorting by goals, Bailey Cadamartri is our top goal scorer. We'll come to him in a minute. So, Bajdar, currently injured with a broken lower back stress fracture. If he didn't get injured, maybe we would have actually done a bit better. I've not worked out how to see like the form of a player, because I would like to see what games did he miss. Did he miss those 4? I assume because he doesn't have a position and a role, he missed those 4 games. So he did play... I mean, he played against Norway there, apparently. So he played against Bournemouth and then subbed off, played Ipswich, played Liverpool, then didn't play Spurs, Everton, Chelsea or Brentford. So, I mean, if he didn't get injured, maybe we could have turned things around. Second top goal scorer is Finn Azaz. Obviously, last season he was our top goal scorer, I think with like 15, so just 8 this time around. But that's still a pretty good turnaround for a player who, realistically, isn't Premier League quality. And speaking of somebody who isn't Premier League quality yet, might I add, he might get Premier League quality, it's Bailey Cadamarteri, our top goal scorer with 13 in all competitions, 10 of them coming in the league. He's wanted by probably Championship sides. Or Bournemouth wants to sign Bailey Cadamarteri. It's going to cost you £40 million because I feel like next season he's going to be very useful for us back in the Championship. My worry right now is we might lose our job, but we haven't at the moment. It's only the 21st of May, so there is still a chance for us to lose our job. Our best player is Bajda. Then I'd argue it's Shea Charles in second and then Prass in third. So what does Charles look like nowadays? He's all right, isn't he? He's not a terrible footballer at all. And Prass, obviously a player that we signed in the summer. He's done all right. 3 goals, 3 assists. Would have been nice to get a few more goals and assists from him, but still new to the country, still new to the club as well. We've got Bella Kotchap get 31 appearances in the end. It's like the redemption arc for Bella Kotchap, which is quite nice to see. And Quinones as well managed to get 24 matches under his belt come the end of the season. I mean, he's not amazing, is he? I think we've got a very good Championship side. We don't have a very good Premier League side. I do want to have a very quick check. So, players' contracts who are expiring this season. We've only got 2, so it's Smallbone and Manning. Okay, I mean, I'm not too fussed about Smallbone and Manning leaving. Next season, we've got a fair few people. I did have a news article come up from Aaron Ramsdale saying that he's not going to be here next year. You've got 2 years left on your contract, mate. You are going to be here. We are going to expect a big, big sum of money from somebody. Unless he has something in his contract, which I don't know how to find that out. Like a relegation release clause or something like that. He doesn't. He doesn't have a relegation release clause. He does have a 20% wage drop. So that's going to save us, what's that, 20-something thousand pounds? £22,000? I mean, he's still going to be on nearly £100,000 a week. But, I mean, it's something, isn't it? I really kind of want to keep him at the club next year. I don't know why. It's a stupid thing to do. It really is. We should sell him for like 60-70 million pounds and just sort ourselves out financially. But it's also kind of funny to keep him at the club, right? So the last thing to look at then is the board feedback. To summarise, the board are disappointed with your management of the team. Last season's disappointment is still fresh in our memories and have a big impact on our appraisal of your current performance. What does that mean? They're happy with the recruitment. The matches are horrendous, which is understandable. The tactics, they're happy with the tactics. That's fine. They're not massively happy with the squad. The fans are okay with me, to be honest. They're okay with me because what were they expecting me to do? I can't perform miracles. When it comes to recruitment, they're also pretty happy with that. I mean, Bajda clearly the best signing I think we've managed to do in the entirety of FM26, which is literally 2 seasons. The fans also do not like the fact that we lost against Bournemouth and everyone else under the sun. The supporters are actually quite happy with our formation, which is weird to think considering we never get any results going our way. Well, assuming we are still in charge, we're going to have to move on to Season 3, back down in the Championship, and I really want to win the Championships next time around. I think it's possible.